That's Kamala Harris's look after she just learned that she once again got played in public. We're going to see the latest humiliation to befall this disaster of a vice president and why more and more Democrats are calling on her to resign. And then
I got pulled aside by my counselor and vice principal, and they told me, hey, you got to remove the flag off the back of your truck. And I kind of looked at him and I said, no, I said, it's not going to happen. I said, I can't.
Remember that MAGA high schooler who defied school officials by refusing to take down the American flag from his truck? Wait until you see what some other patriots did for him in response. It's going to absolutely make your day. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane during these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Queremos saber, Kamala, que es lo que viniste a hacer. Little did she know that she was stepping into yet another public relations disaster. Cackles Kamala was seen before the world cluelessly clapping along, all smiles, as a group sang what turned out to be a protest song. A song protesting the fact that she was even there in Puerto Rico in the first place. The song satirically asked in Spanish, "We want to know, Kamala, why did you come here? What did you come here for? What do you think of this colony you've made?" Now, how on earth she ended up in this situation in the first place is anyone's guess, but needless to say, this is not the first time that Cackles Kamala has found herself publicly humiliated like this on an official visit. You might say, in fact, she has a certain unique propensity towards public embarrassment. We saw it in her official trip to Guatemala City. You might remember this, when protesters plagued Harris's visit with signs reading, "Trump won," and "Kamala, go home." Another read, "Kamala, mind your own business." Another read, "Guatemala is pro-life," obviously referencing the fact that Harris has no biological children of her own. She's radically pro-abortion. And frankly, this is just par for the course wherever she goes on any trip. Remember the disaster at the southern border? Protesters flooded her arrival, excoriating her for waiting so long to visit the border, and the Biden administration's utter incompetence, willful incompetence at the border. Harris saw such signs as, of course, "Trump won" and "F Biden," and how many little girls need to be raped before the administration declares the border crisis a crisis, and if the vice president could hear their screams. I mean, it's pretty horrible stuff. Another one reads, "The spirit of America begins at the border." And to make it even worse, she was actually shamed into making that trip in the first place. Do you remember that disastrous interview with Lester Holt, who pushed her on why she had yet to visit the border, even though she was supposed to be the border czar? And she got all defensive. She was like, "Well, I haven't visited Europe either. I don't understand the question." I mean, she, of course, understood the question. She just didn't like it. She couldn't believe the mainstream Marxist media turned on her like that. She was completely unprepared. And then to make matters even worse, she did it again, this time on Univision. She showed the same level of hostility and defensiveness when asked why she hadn't visited the border. And that's because they knew back then that this was turning out to be political poison for the Democrats. Legacy media was recognizing months ago that the Democrats were losing the election over this disaster at the border, which has only gotten worse since Kamala's humiliating visit. But this latest disaster in Puerto Rico is once again foregrounding the growing calls by leftists, particularly by the woke agitators and the legacy media, for Kamala to step aside for the good of the country, which is ironic because leftists could care less, obviously, about the good of the country. But regardless, Kathleen Parker, The Washington Post, is but the latest to call on Cackles to step aside. And this, of course, is because she's posting some of the worst, if not the worst, approval ratings we've ever seen for any vice president ever. She's a political disaster, and Democrats don't know what to do. They got Biden polling at the lowest level of any incumbent president running for re-election in history. They know he can't win re-election polling this low. Well, apart from their election shenanigans, of course, and they're more desperate than ever to pull those off. But without a viable alternative to Biden, which of course would naturally be the vice president, without that viable alternative, the Democrats they're stuck. There's nothing they can do but to run the single most unpopular president ever, precisely because his running mate is the single most unpopular vice president ever. So absent her resigning, Cackles really is the gift that keeps on giving. So what do you think, gang? Do you think Cackles will end up taking the advice of her fellow leftists and end up resigning? Let us know in the comment section below. Hey gang, if you always wanted to explore historical cities with a group of courageous patriots, well, now is your chance to embark on an exclusive adventure with me, Dr. Steve, and other patriots like you as we set sail on the Mediterranean. You are invited to join us this August on Royal Caribbean's luxury liner, the Voyager of the Seas. You get to spend time with me and other like-minded patriots during the live onboard classes as we dive into topics like the rising parallel economy, the culture wars, and how you can share my optimism in conservative renewal. We'll discover enchanting architecture, timeless artistry, and breathtaking experiences as we adventure through Spain, France, and Italy. Enjoy incredible dining experiences, enriching education, and once-in-a-lifetime attractions each day of our journey. It'll be a summer you'll never forget. Join me and your fellow patriots August 5th to 12th, 2024 for this unparalleled adventure. If you want more information, want to take part in our last-minute pricing sale, my team is waiting to talk to you right now. There are only a handful of cabins left, so don't wait. Click on that link below or go to cruiseinfo.turleytalks.com to learn more. This is going to be absolutely unforgettable, gang, and I can't wait to spend this trip with you. Click on that link below right now. You may all remember a video we did a few weeks back on 17-year-old Cameron Blasick, a senior at East Central High School in Indiana. When school officials told him he needed to take down the American flag he flew from his truck, he refused. And when his classmates heard about it, they all rallied in support of Cameron and the flag as well, and they all began displaying the flag on their vehicles in a huge rally of support. Well, I'm ecstatic to report that not only did school officials back down, but a graphic design company in Cincinnati called GCI Digital Imaging got word of what Cameron did, and they offered to redesign Cameron's truck for free. And look at what they did. That's Cameron's brand new American flag truck, and it is gorgeous. That's Cameron's truck that he's now driving every single day to school. This is the beauty, the literal visual beauty of what happens when patriots stand together, when we have each other's back. There's nothing, literally nothing, leftists can ultimately do to stop the rise of faith, family, and freedom. So a huge shout out to GCI Digital Imaging for that wonderful gift to Cameron and for the gift of inspiring us all.